I'm Nancy Drew. This is my center of operations, my desk. Go ahead and poke around. If you want to know the particulars of how I do what I do, take a look at the book titled How to Be a Detective. It's real helpful, especially if you're new to the mystery-solving business. And be sure to check out my scrapbook. I put memorabilia from all my past cases in there. A lot of them were pretty dangerous, and at times really scary. But don't say anything about that to my dad, okay? He worries about me enough as it is. And whatever you do, read what's in the file called Case File. That'll tell you all about the mystery I'm about to try to solve. If you think you're ready to dive into that mystery, just click on the plane ticket and you'll be on your way. When Kyler Mallory called me from her home in London and asked me to be her maid-of-honor, I was a little reluctant. After all, I hadn't seen her since she stayed with us as an exchange student a couple of years ago. But when she told me the wedding is going to take place at an old family castle in Ireland, how could I say no? The wedding will be very small, but Kyler still needs help with all the final preparations, which means she'd like me to arrive several days early. So I'm going to fly to Dublin, rent a car, and meet Kyler at Castle Malloy. She warned me that the place is somewhat in need of repairs, whatever that means. And unfortunately, by the time I get there, it'll be night. But I've never been to Ireland before, and I've never even seen a real honest-to-goodness castle, let alone stayed in one. So the fact that it may be dark and run down just makes it more of an adventure. And you know me, whenever the question is who wants to go on an adventure, my answer is always, I do.
In preparation for our landing, please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened. Thank you.
So your plane was on time, your luggage arrived, your rental car was waiting, everything went without a hitch?
Yep, and according to Kyler's directions, I'm within 2 kilometers of Castle Malloy. Now stop worrying about me and get over to the Dunhills. What time is it there?
Around 2. The party just started. It's gonna go all day, so I've got plenty of time. Are you driving?
Yes, Ned, I'm talking on my cell phone while I'm driving, but it's okay. There's absolutely no traffic. And I think I see the gates. I gotta go. Say hi to the Dunhills for me and have fun.
Without you? Yeah, right. Take care, Nancy.
Oh, no! What was that? It looks like a piece is missing. Oh, hello. I'm Nancy Drew. I'm here for the wedding.
The wedding's been called off, so go on back to where you come from.
No, wait, please. My car's in the ditch by the gate. I can't go anywhere.
Walk down the road to the inn then. Give me your keys and I'll see to your car in the morning.
I left the keys in the car. Can I at least talk to Kyler?
She's sleeping.
No, wait. I came all the way from the States.
You cannot stay here. Go to the inn, I said. Now off with you.
Please, can I come in just for a minute? Hello? Are you there? Hello? 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 Did that. Uh-oh.
Deaf are you now? I told you you cannot be staying here.
Joel, what are you doing? That's Nancy Drew, my maid-of-honor. Let her in.
Matt's disappeared? How can somebody you came all the way out here with to marry just disappear?
He hasn't disappeared for good. You have to understand, Matt's a bit of a prankster, and the wedding is still days away.
He disappeared as a prank?
He adores getting people in a tizzy. I do think he's pushing the envelope this time, but he'll show up. Mind you, it may not be till I've started down the aisle, but he'll show, saying he just wanted to make this a wedding no one shall ever forget.
Why did that man at the door tell me the wedding was off?
That was the caretaker, Donald Delaney. Not Donald, mind you. There's no D at the end, so it's pronounced Donal. That's the way you're supposed to spell it, which is to say that's the way the Irish spell it.
Proud of his heritage, huh?
Indeed. Which would be tolerable if his love for the Irish wasn't accompanied by an abiding distaste for the British. Now, he rather likes me, but that's only because he considers me to be Irish, since I'm directly related to the man who used to own this place. When it comes to my British fiancé, Donal detests him, which is why he was so quick to tell you the wedding's off. He wants it to be off. He came right out and said, if I am to be married in Castle Malloy, it simply must be to an Irishman. Said my marrying a Brit would upset the fairy people, or whatever he calls them.
Do you have any idea where Matt disappeared to?
No, but I know he didn't go far. The fact is, sometimes I hear him. You know, his voice. It's very faint and muffled, but it sounds like he's calling to me, saying things I can't quite make out. Teasing me, the lout. So I know he's somewhere close by. He'll be here for the wedding. I'd stake my life on it. Of course, I remember well your penchant for solving mysteries. So if you want to give this one a go, by all means do. You could start in the nursery. It's down the hall. That's where Matt had set up his cot and was spending most of his time. Find him, Nancy. Having my maid-of-honor ruin this silly vanishing trick of his would teach him a lesson he sorely needs.
Someone ran out in front of my car on my way here and caused me to drive into a ditch.
Are you all right?
Me, I'm fine. My car and my cell phone, not so good. And I'm pretty sure whomever I saw dropped this. Looks like some kind of homemade doll.
The clothes. It looks like Matt. And that's his ring. What did the person who dropped this look like?
I didn't really get a good look. It was dark and I was distracted and it moved so fast. Frankly, I'm not even sure if what I saw was a person.
Denal, the caretaker. When we realized Matt was gone, straight away Denal claimed Matt had been kidnapped by fairies, which is of course utterly ridiculous. It was probably Matt himself you saw, tricked out in some costume and leaving that doll behind just to confound us. Well, I do hope he's enjoying himself, because as soon as we're married, that will be that. No more practical jokes. Ever.
Does it bother you to be here all by yourself?
Actually, Matt's best friend Kit Foley is here too. He set up a cot in the great hall downstairs.
When did he arrive?
We all came out together.
Where does Mr. Delaney live?
All I know is he comes at dawn and leaves at sunset. I can't fathom what he does all day, but he always seems to be puttering away at something. When he's not working, he spends most of his time down the road at the Screaming Banshee Inn.
Who pays him?
My grandfather's estate. Apparently, Grandpapa considered Denal to be as much a part of Castle Malloy as those mouldy old tapestries you see everywhere. I should let him go. All he ever talks about are banshees and fairies and leprechauns. And he can be quite obstinate, as you saw at the door. But if Grandpapa saw fit to put up with him all those years, I suppose I can too.
When you said you sometimes hear Matt, where are you when that happens? In here?
In here, in the nursery, sometimes outside. His voice is always very muffled and very, very faint, so I can never tell where it's coming from or what he's saying. But it's Matt, I'm sure of it.
Has Mr. Delaney ever heard him?
If he has, he won't admit it. He says the fairies, or whoever took him, would never allow such a thing. Straight away, he said Matt was gone and was never coming back. So when I heard his voice, it dawned on me he was playing one of his outlandish pranks. I was furious with him, but truth be told, it was also a bit of a relief.
What are you doing in here, if you don't mind my asking?
Reading. About myself, in a way. You see, until my grandpapa died and left me this place, not only did I have no idea that this castle existed, but I had no idea my real name was not Mallory, but Malloy. Apparently, Grandpapa changed his name 50 years ago, so no one would find out he was Irish.
Why didn't he want people to find out he was Irish?
I think it had something to do with his brother, Brendan, the man who owned this place and was living here when it exploded during World War II. He was rumored to have been a double agent, supposedly doing top-secret research for the Allies, but in truth passing his findings on to the Axis. Not exactly a brother you want people to know about.
If the rumors were true.
Anyway, ever since I found out I'm a Malloy, I can't stop reading about Ireland. So many different people have populated this country at one time or another. The Celts, the Druids, the Gaels. It's all quite fascinating.
All these books were Brendan's?
I can't be certain, but I assume so. He was quite the inventor, I do know that. Everything that remains in this place seems as if it's been tinkered with. Even his daughter's dollhouse, of all things.
I'd better get to work.
The 5 months I spent living with you, your dad, and Hannah, and Togo, of course. That was a very happy time for me, Nancy. I can't tell you how thrilled I am you're here.
I get to see you again, and I get to see Ireland? I'm the one who's thrilled, believe me. Let me know if there's anything else I can do for you. I'm your maid of honor, remember?
I haven't forgotten.
Whoa, that would have been quite a fall. This'll come in handy. I can't quite get there from here. Huh? Ah!
Hi, you must be Nancy Drew. I'm Kit Foley. Ignore the eye if you can. Walked into a door the other day. Looks worse than it feels. I'm a bit surprised you're still here, given the circumstances.
I'm not sure I fully understand the circumstances yet.
That's because you've only heard Kyler's version of what's going on. Or worse, that daffy caretaker's version. Either way, it's unlikely you've heard the truth.
The truth being...
Matt isn't playing a practical joke, and he hasn't been kidnapped by fairies. He got cold feet and left. It's as simple as that.
Are you sure?
Well, Matt didn't come out and tell me he was leaving. But hey, I am his best friend. I know him better than anybody. I mean, he loves Kyler, but she can be a handful. And he's no pushover either. Their relationship is so tempestuous, it scares him. She thinks once he makes a real commitment, everything will be fine. But he's not so sure. So he bailed.
I don't think the possibility that he walked out on her has even occurred to her.
She's in a raging state of denial, and I, for one, don't see any harm in allowing her to stay that way. I seriously doubt he walked out on her for good. It's just that for Matt, marriage is way too much, way too soon.
How come you sound so American?
Because I am American. My father's VP of International Sales for Krollmeister Incorporated. The company transferred him to London 15 years ago. I've pretty much lived there ever since. I just can't seem to pick up the accent.
When or how did you realize that Matt had disappeared?
Kyler and I went for a walk, came back, and the next thing I knew, Kyler was saying Matt was nowhere to be found.
Where did you last see him?
In the nursery. He always seemed to be in the nursery fiddling with things. Whenever I'd tease him about it, he'd always give me this impish little grin like he was up to something. When I checked the nursery and saw that Matt's suitcase and backpack were gone, it finally dawned on me that he had left and he wasn't coming back. Of course, by that time, Kyler had convinced herself that he was simply playing one of his practical jokes, and I couldn't bring myself to burst her bubble, so I didn't.
It looks like you're drawing something. Are you an artist?
Me? Not hardly. I'm with a real estate development company. These are just preliminary sketches for a couple of projects we're working on. In other words, I'm doing homework.
Residential real estate or commercial?
Mostly residential. And let me tell you, we'd have a field day with attractive land like the one this castle sits on. Ocean view, easy commute to Donegal, bedrock foundation, readily accessible groundwater. That bog's a bit problematic, but a little sand, a little gravel, a little landscaping, voila! A cluster of 6, maybe 8 luxury homes amid a park-like setting that would sell like lightning.
Good talking to you.
See ya.
Where are those lights in the tower coming from?
Nancy, splendid timing. I just thought of something you can do for me. There's an old-fashioned printing press downstairs. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't taken a good look around down there yet.
Just go down the stairs and look for the monstrosity with the big wheel and the levers. You can't miss it. It came with the castle. My great-uncle Brendan had all sorts of gizmos and gadgets and machinery lying around. Anyway, when I saw the printer, I told Matt why not save some money and print the programs for the wedding right here. Problem is, Matt failed to get them done before he turned into the merry prankster. And since I have the mechanical aptitude of a bacterium, would you mind finishing the job for me? You'd only have to print 3 more sheets. And the plate, the ink, the paper, everything you need is right there.
No problem.
Thank you, Nancy. You're the best.
I'd better finish the rest of these before I go anywhere. I should use black ink to print the programs. I should use black ink to print the programs. Alan Payne. That's kind of weird. I'd better finish the rest of these before I go anywhere. I can't just go snooping around, not with Kit right there.
Did you finish the programs?
Yep, but I noticed that they say the best man is someone named Alan Payne. If Kit is Matt's best friend, why isn't Kit the best man?
Matt said that's the way Kit wanted it. He got here early, too. But when Matt vanished, Alan was certain that Matt was playing a joke and refused to be the butt of it. So he went back to London, saying he'll reappear only when Matt does and not a moment before. You know, perhaps you should give Alan a call. 0044-020-7946-0481. He may have seen something while he was here that could help you find Matt. You'll have to use the phone down the road at the inn, however. My cell phone gets absolutely no reception here.
I found these glasses in the fireplace in the nursery.
Those are Matt's. You found them in the fireplace?
Did you look there when you were searching for Matt?
Of course not. Why would we look in the fireplace? Matt never, ever took his glasses off. Mostly because without them, he can't see 2 feet in front of him.
Did he have an extra pair?
It's possible. Any normal person with eyesight as bad as his would have had 10 extra pairs. But how did those get broken? Oh, Nancy, maybe he truly is in trouble.
Let me do some more looking around before we jump to any conclusions. The glasses could still just be part of an elaborate practical joke.
You're absolutely right. Please find him, Nancy. I do so want to strangle him.
If Matt was staying in the nursery, where's his luggage?
Right there by his cot.
It's not there now.
But it was there. just last night. I remember seeing it when I peeked in to see if he'd finally decided to reappear. At least, I think I saw it last night. If it's not there now, perhaps Denal moved it, took it to storage or something. Because I know I saw it after Matt went missing. So it's around here somewhere, just like he's around here somewhere. I'm sure of it.
Did you know when you decided to hold your wedding here that half the place is pretty much rubble?
Oh, yes. Mind you, I didn't even know that Castle Malloy existed until Grandpapa died and I was notified that I'd inherited it. At which point the executor of his estate sent me pictures and assured me that despite its appearance, it was in fact habitable.
When was the last time someone lived here?
From what I was told, no one's lived here since the explosion.
What kind of explosion?
One summer night in 1944, this place, or half of it at least, just suddenly blew up. It was rumored that my great-uncle Brendan was working on something that involved a new kind of rocket fuel. He was killed along with his wife and young daughter. Apparently, they all just vaporized. Which I guess is why Denal claims the nursery, where the little girl spent most of her time, is haunted.
I'll catch you later.
As soon as you find out anything, let me know.
What is that?
What's going on?
If you and Matt are best friends, how come you didn't want to be his best man?
Actually, I did. But Matt mentioned that it would be a good move for him politically if he asked this guy he knows from work, Alan Payne, to be his best man. And I said, hey, do it. So he did. No big deal.
Have you ever been up in the tower?
Uh-uh. You saw the stairs, or what's left of them. There's no way to get up there.
I could have sworn I saw lights coming from it.
Perhaps it was the good people come a-calling on their good friend and all. Or maybe it was just reflected moonlight or something. So if you're thinking Matt's up there, forget it. Ain't no way.
I'll see you later, okay?
See ya.
Wonder what that crow's doing in there. Yes, hi. My name is Nancy Drew. I'm calling from Castle Malloy. I'm Kyler Mallory's maid of honor.
Yes, I remember that name. Has Matthew finally put an end to that ridiculous prank of his?
No, I'm afraid he's still at it. But if you have a second, could I ask you some questions?
It should be a minute or two before my ride gets here. What's on your mind?
Did you see or hear anything strange while you were at Castle Malloy?
If you mean, did I get the impression that the castle was haunted or enchanted or anything like that? No. Frankly, I was too distracted by the strange human goings-on to pay much attention to anything else.
What do you mean?
I mean, for three people who purport to be friends, it seemed to me they did an inordinate amount of fighting. For instance, the evening before Matt disappeared, he and Kit had a terrible row. I couldn't make out exactly what was being said, but they both sounded very angry. Furious, I dare say. In fact, the next time I saw Kit, he was sporting a black eye. And the next morning, Matt and Kyler had a go at each other. Nothing physical, mind you, and once again, I couldn't make out what was said, but I promise you, they were quite put out with each other. I was more than happy to bid the lot of them farewell, though I imagine I'll be returning to the castle before too long. Matt is bound to find his prank as tedious as everyone else does eventually. I must be off. Nancy, it was a pleasure venting to you. Hopefully before too long we shall meet in person. Cheers. Hello?
Hi, Ned, it's me.
Hey, Nancy. How come you're not calling from your cell phone?
It's kind of a long story. So, are you at the pool party?
Yeah. In fact, Kathy and Carrie say hi. So do their parents, and everyone else who's here. Which is pretty much all of River Heights.
You sound funny.
I just miss you, that's all. Look, enough about me. I want to hear about Ireland. How's it going?
Well, it would be going a whole lot better if the guy Kyler came here to marry wasn't missing.
The groom is missing?
She thinks he's just playing a practical joke.
Wait a minute. You and Kyler are there by yourselves?
No, Matt's best friend is here too. So's the caretaker, Mr. Delaney.
This guy Matt thinks disappearing less than a week before his wedding is funny? I'm no expert on marriage or anything, but I don't think that's a good sign.
Something that kind of looked like a woman and kind of didn't ran across the road right in front of me just as I got to the castle.
What do you mean it kinda looked like a woman?
It had all this long, wild hair, and it was wearing something flowing, like a dress or a robe. But its face, it just didn't look human. It startled me so badly that I drove off the road into a ditch. But don't worry, I'm fine.
How can I not worry? You're in Ireland not 2 hours, and what happens?
A mystery falls into my lap. A harmless mystery, because like I said before,
You're
I'm
fine. Right.
I found Matt's broken glasses in the fireplace of the room he was staying in.
What would somebody's glasses be doing in a fireplace?
What's really disturbing is Kyler says Matt is pretty much blind without his glasses. I didn't admit it to Kyler, but I'm getting worried.
Relax. Because you know what? If I wore glasses and if I were into playing practical jokes on people, I'd do just that. I'd break them and leave them someplace really weird just to freak out whoever finds them.
You're probably right.
But why don't you give that fireplace a real good look, just in case?
I'd really like to get into the tower of Castle Malloy.
What's stopping you?
The lack of stairs, for one thing.
There are no stairs?
They were destroyed along with half the castle in a mysterious explosion during World War II. Apparently the guy who lived here then, Brendan Malloy, was some kind of mad scientist.
Why do you want to get up in the tower so bad?
I saw some strange lights coming from inside it. Kit says Matt is no rock climber, but still, I can't help but think it might have been Matt.
Why would he be up in a tower?
Maybe that's where he's hiding out.
You just said there's no way to get in.
I know, but maybe...
He learned how to fly.
You're not helping, Ned.
Sorry, Nancy.
I'll let you get back to the party.
All right, talk to you later.
Hello? This is a sales call.
No, Bess, it's me, Nancy. I'm calling from a phone in Ireland.
Nancy, hi! George, get over here. It's Nancy.
Hi, Nan. You'd better be having a great time there because you are missing an incredible time here.
The Dunhills throw the best parties.
You should see all the awesome pool toys they've got.
And everywhere you look, some cute guy in swim trunks is standing over a barbecue grilling something. I'm in heaven.
Sounds fabulous. Be sure to wish Kathy and Carrie a happy birthday for me.
You know, one person I haven't seen is Ned.
Yeah, me neither.
He's there somewhere. I talked to him earlier.
So, what's going on with you?
Just as I got to the castle, some very strange-looking person ran across the road in front of me and made me drive into a ditch.
You wrecked your car?
She gets in an accident and you're worried about some stupid rental car? Real nice, Bess.
Well, Nancy's obviously okay or she wouldn't be calling.
Did this strange-looking person apologize?
No, he, she, or it just kind of vanished. And when I talked to Kyler, I found out that her husband-to-be has vanished.
What do you mean, vanished?
Matt came to Ireland with Kyler and his best friend Kit, but now he's nowhere to be found. Kyler is convinced he's pulling a prank.
A prank?
Apparently, he's a pretty big practical joker.
More like a pretty big moron.
Incoming. Check it out.
Oh my gosh.
Guys? Hello? Bess? George? Anyone?
Sorry, we were hopelessly distracted by a truly amazing set of washboard abs.
Whoever ran out in front of my car dropped a handmade doll that looks like the missing groom.
A handmade doll? That's kind of freaky.
Dolls are freaky, period.
Who around there would be making dolls?
Kyler thinks I saw Matt, and the doll was just part of the practical joke he's playing.
Let me see if I got this straight. The guy thinks disappearing less than a week before his wedding, causing cars to run off the road, and making creepy dolls is funny?
Not exactly Bess Marvin marriage material, is he?
According to Alan Payne, Matt's best man, there was a lot of arguing going on just before Matt disappeared. Matt was fighting with Kit, Kyler was fighting with Matt. Alan said he went back to London to wait for Matt to reappear because he couldn't stand all the constant squabbling.
So all was not blissful in premaritalville, eh?
Wait a minute. If Kit is Matt's best friend, why isn't he his best man?
Good question. Unfortunately, the person most qualified to answer it has disappeared. Did I tell you that Kit Foley has a black eye?
Why am I not surprised?
I found a draft of the vows Kyler is planning to say at her wedding.
Oh, custom-written vows are so sweet.
Problem is, these vows have the words, "What am I doing? This is wrong," scrawled beneath them.
That can't be good.
How do you know she was talking about the wedding? Maybe she was just frustrated because she couldn't put her feelings into words.
That's true.
Did you ask her about them?
What's the point? If she is having second thoughts about getting married, she probably won't admit it, seeing as she's failed to mention it before.
That's true, too.
Wait a minute. You guys aren't suggesting that Kyler is behind Matt's disappearance, are you?
I admit that doesn't make much sense.
But it is a possibility.
You two are terrible.
I'd better get going. You guys are wearing sunscreen, right?
Yes, Nancy.
Just checking. Bye.
So, you're not so keen on staying at the castle after all, then?
I'm staying there. I just wanted to talk to you.
Come to me for a bit of aid and advice, did you? Well, I've got none to give. Not till I got the day's troubles behind me and a crow's nest in front of me.
Huh?
The mix maid suddenly took ill, leaving poor Seamus on his own, running back and forth, trying to mix and serve at the same time. I heard her soon as I walked in, yet here I sit, dying of thirst. I'll do no talking till I get me crow's nest, and there's the sorry truth of the matter. But now, were some spry and spunky lass to lend poor Seamus a hand by taking over the mixing for a while, that would surely speed the plough.
Sounds good to me. I'll see to it you get your crows whatever, ASAP.
Gonna play mix maid for a while, are ya? Well, here's what you're to do. I'll take the orders and put the tickets up here. Each ticket will have no more than 2 drinks on it. And to save time, I draw little pictures instead of writing out their names. The mixin' book will tell ya which little picture stands for what drink. It'll also tell you what's in each drink and how to make each drink. Now, to pour something, put the silver mixing glass under either the juice tap or the beer tap. Then, press whatever button the mixing book tells you to press. The book will also tell you how many times to press it. If the drink needs blending, you'll see a picture of a blender at the top of the column in the book. You're to put the solid ingredients into the blender first, then pour whatever's in the mixing glass into the blender. Then, press the red button. And when the blending's done, just reach under the counter and find the serving glass that's pictured in the book. Put the serving glass on the grey mat and pour everything from the blender into the serving glass. If the drink doesn't need blending, just find the right serving glass, put it on the grey mat, and pour everything you've poured into the mixing glass into the serving glass. Then, add anything else the book tells you to add, put the serving glass on the tray to the right of the ticket it goes to, and start fixing the next drink. Soon as you've made all the drinks on a ticket, ring the bell and I'll serve 'em up. Just remember, if the orders start coming thick and fast and the tickets start piling up, you're to make the drinks on the ticket closest to the bell first. Now, you'll be making no mistakes, I'm sure. But if you do, just toss the glass into the rubbish bin down there to the right and start over. Mind you, lass, you must do the mixing fast and proper. The quicker you mix, the more tips you'll be keeping. To work with you now. That order wasn't right. All done and dusted, are ya? Thank you, miss. Take what's in the tip jar, and the next time you help out, you can keep the tips then as well.
You make a mean crow's nest, girl. Well done. Now, I'm to tell you what happened to the Sassenach, am I?
I'm sorry, happened to the what?
The Sassenach. The Englishman. The one Kyler was supposed to be marrying. Well, what happened to him is this. The she took him. The good people whisked him straight off to their world, they did.
By the good people, you mean fairies?
You'll not be hearing me call him that. All of us have a name we prefer, and with them, the good people it is. So that's what I call him, and you'd be wise to do the same.
Can you prove that's what happened to him?
Can I prove it? Did you see him up there, lass? Does anyone see him now? Gone he is, vanished from the earth. The naught you see instead of him. There's your proof, girl. 'Tis not the first time the good people have seen fit to meddle in the affairs of Castle Malloy. Caused the explosion they did.
The one that destroyed half the castle?
Brendan, his wife, Caitlin, used to own this place, she did. Aye, and their little girl, Fiona. All three were lost to the world forever when the place blew. But the blame lay not with Malloy. It was the good people. They'd taken a shine to Fiona, is why. And they knew that little girls, no matter how much they're adored by wee folk or mortals, sooner or later, all little girls grow up and grow old. The good people couldn't bear to see this happen to their beloved Fiona, so they made full sure it never did.
Sounds to me like the good people are actually just the opposite.
They have their ways, and we have ours, is all. That's just the way of things. Got plans for you, they do.
The fairies? The good people? What makes you say that?
I meant to pocket your car keys for safekeeping on my way over here, but I couldn't find 'em.
You mean my keys weren't in the car?
Aye, that's exactly my meaning. Taken they were. The good people want you to be staying.
Do you dislike all Englishmen as much as you dislike Matt Simmons? Or is he special somehow?
I've little use for any Sassenach, but I took a disliking to this one soon as I laid eyes on him. Arrogant he was, cocky, disrespectful, foolish, always touching things he shouldn't, going places he didn't belong. Worse than a stray dog, that one was.
What about Kyler?
Aye, Kyler. She's different. She belongs here. It's in her blood. It's the reason she does naught but read up in the library. She'll not be leaving Ireland, mark my words. And if she winds up marrying Mr. Foley, all the better.
So Kit, you like?
Aye. He may talk like a Yank and live like a Brit, but there's Irish in the lad. I saw it right off. Little wonder he's in love with the girl. They'll make a fine pair.
Whoa, wait a minute. Kit's not in love with Kyler.
Blind, are you now? Loves her, he does indeed. He's all but wearing a sign saying so. He came to the wedding early to make sure there'd never be a wedding. Only the good people saw to that for him. Ah, the luck of the Irish.
The name of this place. Just what exactly is a banshee?
A woman, one of the good people, as alive as you and me, with wild hair almost as long as the tattered grey robe billowing up around her whenever she appears. Sometimes she takes on the form of a hooded crow, but it's the sound she makes, her terrible wailing, that strikes fear in the human heart. Because when a mortal hears the wail of a banshee, it means someone is about to die.
Sometimes I hear this strange kind of wailing sound when I'm in the castle. Have you ever heard it?
These ears don't work so well now. Even the pattering of rain is beginning to slip by 'em. But the situation being what it is, by my reckon, a banshee you heard.
I don't think so. This sounded more mechanical.
So, all of a sudden, you're an expert on banshees, are you then?
Well, no, but
A banshee it was. How they know what they know, and why they do what they do, are mysteries far beyond mortal solution. But be assured, lass, someone at Castle Malloy is doomed.
I saw someone with long hair and a gray robe outside the castle tonight.
Did you know?
It ran across the road in front of me. That's why my car's in the ditch.
Not till I was 54 did I see a banshee. To see one at your age, on your very first night in Ireland. A special lass you are indeed.
Do banshees ever leave things behind, like, say, little dolls?
Do not be mistaken banshees for Santa Claus now. A warning is all they leave behind about something that's coming and can't be stopped.
I should get back to the castle.
Fine with me.
You do fine work. You do fine work, miss. You do fine work, miss. You do fine work, miss.
How's it going?
Alan Payne told me he overheard you and Matt arguing the day before Matt disappeared. And pretty much right before you walked into that door.
What were you doing talking to Alan Payne?
I thought he might know something that could help us find Matt.
I told you, Matt bailed. He doesn't want to be found. Look, like I said, Alan Payne doesn't really know Matt or me that well, okay? The fact is, he misunderstood what he heard. Matt and I have been friends for more than 12 years. We were just fooling around.
Fooling around? You ended up with a black eye.
I told you that was an accident. I'm clumsy.
What were you two talking about?
I forget. That's how inconsequential it was. Hey, I just remembered. Carla wants me to do the seating chart for the wedding dinner. Like I said, I can't bring myself to tell her there's not going to be a wedding. Anyway, I need to get to work on it, so you're gonna have to excuse me. Of course, you could always give it a shot. You just have to figure out where each guest should sit by taking into account their needs and preferences. What do you say?
Sure, I can do that.
Excellent. Just fill it out and bring it back to me when you think you've got everyone sitting in the right place. Because unless and until it gets done, afraid I'm going to be pretty much incommunicado. How's the seating chart coming?
Could you take a look at it?
You bet. This looks great. Wow, you did it. I'm impressed.
So now we can talk.
Yeah, now we can talk. Oh, hey, actually, you might want to take a look at this first. I found it on the floor in Matt's room when I was looking for him.
What is it?
Frankly, it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but maybe it will to you. Take it. If anybody can figure out what Matt was doing with it, you can, I'm sure. Good luck.